Welcome to Skintimacy Conversations with C.Cherrelle, the podcast where we explore the intimate connection between skincare, self-care, and the spiritual journey in between. I'm your host, C.Cherrelle, and together we'll delve into topics that nourish your skin, mind, and spirit. Now let's get skintimate. Welcome to the very first episode of Skintimacy Conversations. I am your host, C.Cherrelle. You guys, I am so excited. To finally say, F it and just do it, girl. I have been talking about releasing a podcast for quite some time now, and a lot of my clients know that I have been talking about this for about, I'm going to say 3 years, and I'm finally just putting it out there. I don't know if it has anything to do with me just finally finding my grounding in this adult life, because, when we finally get here, it's not what we think it's going to be. So we kind of have to revamp and reassess some stuff. So now that I'm 38, I don't know. Maybe it's the thing about me hitting close to 40 where I'm just finally like, fuck it. I'm ready to just jump out there and be who I am called to be and following the purpose that I have been avoiding for quite some time. A lot of my clients, friends, and family members will say it that I should have done this a long time ago. So I'm finally excited to be here and introducing this to you guys. It's going to be an amazing journey. I just feel honored to be able to share a platform where I can showcase my work more, not necessarily my physical work, but more of my educational work, my relationship work, even down to my spiritual work on myself. So this is going to be amazing. Just a little bit about me, because you guys got to know who I am before you believe any damn thing I say. Now, for those who are sensitive to cuss words and a little bit of inappropriate innuendos every now and again, please get off my station. Get off my podcast, because, baby, I talk how I talk, and we're going to have fun. Now, we're going to know what we're talking about, but we definitely going to have some fun while we're talking about it, So, just a little disclaimer for those who may be just a little bit too uptight. That's fine. I'm just not for you, and that's okay. But yeah, so my full name, for those who don't know, is Courtney Cherrelle, which is where I got C.Cherrelle from. So that's kind of like my stage name, if you will. But for those who know me, they know me as Courtney. And then some of my clients, when they first meet me, they call me Cherrelle. So that's where the name came from. But yeah, my full name is Courtney Cherrelle. I'm born and raised in Greenville, South Carolina. I say Greenville, South Carolina, because most people, if I were to say I was born I was raised in Simpsonville, they would think of Greenville. So, most people don't know where Simpsonville is. So I just say Greenville, South Carolina. I have 4 siblings. My mom and dad were married for 13 years, and they divorced when I was, 9 years old. So I got to experience a home with a mom and dad. We'll get a little more into that later. Good family overall, but I saw the good and the bad and the ugly side of marriage and what it can do or what it can't do if it's not worth fighting for. But anywho, around the age 10, I started witnessing what it was to be a single Black mother, which, while watching my mom, let me just say that, not me. Me watching my mom, I was able to experience what it looked like to be a single Black mother providing for her children. I also saw what it could do to someone's dreams when they don't have the support system. Because I was introduced to the beauty world at a very young age. So like I say, around 10-ish, my mom and dad got divorced. Later on in my teenage years, like 13, 14, my mom got into modeling, and she actually modeled for a local beauty school or modeling school, Millie Lewis. And she, if you guys know, Back in the 90s, it was a Mary Kay era, really big. And my mom got into selling Mary Kay and doing makeup and all the things. And so between her going to Millie Lewis and doing Mary Kay, I witnessed the beauty of a woman, a woman wanting to go into a world of fashion and catalog modeling and commercials and all that stuff. And, being a Black woman at that, it was something very special to me to witness. I really admired her attitude towards finding something for her. Because I do feel like my mom lost herself in her children and in her husband. And then with the divorce, I think that kind of did something to her, being that, she kind of had to put her dreams to the side and provide for us as a single mother. But, I still was able to see her chase something outside of us and something she desired to be briefly, because she eventually stopped modeling, stopped selling Mary Kay. But, throughout those years, I got into makeup, doing my own makeup. I was big into hair. My mom bought me my first set of Marcel's curling irons. If you know, the curling irons with the oven that you stick them in, the irons or whatever. So I was big into hair, makeup, all the colors in my hair. I remember it was an era we would dye hair with Kool-Aid. So I was all into that, honey. And I was in the era of Aaliyah, honey. I would have my hair over to the side of my eyeball. You couldn't tell me I wasn't it. Do you hear me? My best friend always teases me about how, shout out to Nicole Smith, my best friend. Anyway, she always teased me about how I would wear makeup, like we went to high school together. She would teach me about how I would come out the gym after we would have gym class and I would have a full face of makeup on. Child, listen, you couldn't tell me nothing back in the day. But with that being said, I was introduced into beauty and makeup early on. And once I graduated high school, life kind of got the best of me. And I moved out at 19, trying to be fast, honey, trying to get out here in this world to see what I can see. And saw a baby at 19. That's what I saw. I had my first son at 19. And, it kind of just helped me become even more lost. When you're 19 years old having a child, you really don't know what to do or what to expect until it happens. And then when it happens, it's like, oh shit, this is not what I thought. That one night was not it. This is not doing what I thought it was going to do. I just wanted to have a good time, but I'm here for a lifetime. But anyway, so, I had to go to work. At 20 years old, I got a job in a manufacturing company. Cryvac, for those who know, it's used to be a big plant to work at back in the 2000s, here in Greenville, South Carolina. And, I was making my money. I was taking care of my kid at the time. I had moved out again on my own. I was thriving in my own little right. Got pregnant again at 25, and at some point I was just like, it has to be more to life than this, coming to work, running machines, wearing steel toe boots, and, because I'm used to being a pretty girl. So at that point, I really just kind of lost myself and I was trying to find something to identify with. Long story short, I started going through some stuff personally. I ended up having to move back home. I didn't move back home with my mom. I moved back home with my dad. And I really was just trying to find myself. Like, I fell on hard times. I still had my job, but the living situation fell through. And I was just like, I got to figure something out. While I'm here at my dad's house, I need to find my purpose. Like, what is my purpose in my life? Being a mother is great, but that's not my end all be all. I mean, I watched my mother do that and I did not want to fall into that, losing myself, because the kids will get grown and they go on with their lives. So I wanted something bigger for me. I went through a couple of things, couple of phases. I went back to school, but I still dipped and dabbled in makeup for myself mainly. But once I moved back home, my dad, I don't know, I encountered a young lady and she was wanting to go sing. And she had saw me do my makeup a couple of times. And she was just like, oh, would you do my makeup for this show? And I'm just like, girl, I don't do makeup professionally. And she's just like, oh, honey, I done seen you do your makeup. Please, would you do my makeup? I would love for you to do it. And I'm just like, okay, girl. I did her makeup. She loved it. She went and did her audition, singing audition. The people loved it. And instantaneously, I was like, wow, like that did something to me. To see someone be so lit up from something I did or feeling I gave them, it really ignited a purpose in me that I had never felt before. But it felt so right because I felt like I was looking for that. I just didn't know what it was. So I fell in love with the idea of making another person feel beautiful. That became my passion. That became my drive. That became my purpose behind every single thing I have ever done in my career. Not just anybody, though. It was something about how I made a woman feel her most beautiful version of herself. Like that, I can remember the exact moment I felt that. And I'm like, wow, like this is why I'm doing this. So speed up the story a little bit. When I felt that, I wanted to follow that feeling because I never wanted to lose it. I was like, wow, this is something I never felt before. I've never felt this passionate about something. So it just happened to be, I found that passion through a talent I had with makeup. So I started doing pageant makeup. I started doing wedding makeup. And I fell even more in love with the idea of helping a woman feel beautiful on one of the most important days of her life. Like, to have somebody ask me to do their makeup for one of the days they've been dreaming about since they were a little girl, that was something I never, ever could imagine would make me feel so connected to another person. Again, it was a feeling that I followed all the way through. So once I started doing makeup, I went to a couple of makeup schools. I went to Gwyneth Mosby Makeup Academy in Atlanta. I went to the Makeup Forever Academy in New York. I did a couple of fashion shows. I started getting really, really, really deep into the makeup world. But one thing that I noticed about makeup is it's not flawless unless your skin is. And I'm not a damn magician. So I started to have to tell people, listen, you keep bringing me these pictures of Halle Berry, baby. I don't know what you looking at, but that ain't it. That ain't what we got right now. Okay, let's work on some skincare. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some reality in this conversation because that ain't it. That ain't it. So once I start really realizing that the skin itself needs to be a clean canvas in order for the makeup to be flawless and for me to not to have to use so much makeup, I really started digging deeper into the concept of, well, let me be able to help them with their skin. Because every woman doesn't want to have to wear makeup on a daily basis. So I'm like, yeah, let me help you with your skin. So I decided to quit my job. I was still at Cryovac during this time while I was traveling and going to school and doing all the things. I was using that money to build my career and for me to take a strategic exit from Cryovac. So I pulled my 401k. I found me an aesthetic school to go to in Columbia, South Carolina. Shouts out to Southeastern Aesthetics Institute. I decided to, you know what? I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to take my 401k. I'm living at home anyway. I might as well use the opportunity to do what I want to do and build a life how I want to build it. So in 2016, I quit Cryovac, got enrolled in aesthetic school, and boo bop bam. A few months later, I got my aesthetics license. That following January, I actually passed my boards. So I was certified licensed esthetician. And from there, I really started diving deeper into skin because I'm like, wow, people really just want to feel good in their own body. So, I started my career in 2017 in aesthetics, and I really honed in on some specific skin issues where I feel like more attention needs to be brought, which is the purpose of this podcast. I started seeing a lot of acne clients, more specifically women of color who were suffering with acne and hyperpigmentation. And they just don't think about it any deeper than, oh, my skin is having a breakout. So that's what brought about the idea of creating a platform to inform women of, yeah, this is more than just skin. Like 99% of my clientele have PCOS. And I've had to go through hell and high water to understand the human body in order to make this connection. And now that I've made this connection that your internal health is a reflection of your external health, I want to share this with everybody. Because let me tell you, y'all be stressing me out. When y'all come to me and want a damn miracle worked, and I'm like, girl, you are a diabetic, you got high blood pressure, you got PCOS, you got fibroids. Listen to me like your body is trying to thrive in the midst of chaos. Like, we got to get internal health under control before we can do a damn thing with your skin. So I need y'all to understand and know your skin is more than just superficial product. Your skin is a spiritual journey. Your skin is a reflection of who you are and what you think of yourself at this point in your life. Listen, there is no way around it. I am sorry if you feel any way other than that. And with that being said, the overall mission of Skintimacy Conversations is to explore the intimate connection between skincare routines and your personal well-being. Let's take a mindful approach to skincare. Let's make it a skincare ritual with yourself where, you're doing your skincare, but you're also speaking affirmations over your life. When you look at yourself in the mirror, what do you see? Like, do you actually see yourself? Do you look at yourself, even your scars, even your past traumas? Like, you have to face that with yourself. And that's the only way you can do that is by being your absolute naked self with yourself. It's scary to me how many people are not willing to be naked without makeup, without lashes to your forehead, without baby hairs down to your brows. Like, be naked with yourself and really see those scars and see those imperfections and see those blemishes and understand what they are, where they've come from and where we're going with them. Because let's just say there is no such thing as perfect skin. So how can we learn how to thrive with the skin that we have in the moment in time, like where we are right now? I want us to be more mindful of ourselves, like our emotional well-being, being more intentional with ourselves as humans. Like, I want us to slow down, learn the language of consistency and discipline with yourself. Because overall, that is the only way you're going to see any change, whether it be with your wellness, your spiritual well-being, or even just your skin. Like, I need people to understand you need to slow down and take your time with yourself. I need you to study yourself. I need you to really get into those areas of being uncomfortable with truths about yourself. That's what Skintimacy Conversations is going to be about. It's about us exploring skin, of course. We're going to explore the science of skin, like real science-based stuff. Like, we're going to explore product. We're going to explore the newest trends in skincare. But I want us to really be intentional and intimate with our skin. Let's have skin-to-skin conversations, real-life, raw conversations with each other and where we are on our own skincare and spiritual journey. Like, how does self-care look to us now? Especially with me being 38. Like, my self-care looks so much different than when it did in my 20s when I was just out here wearing makeup, the hairs and the dresses and the heels and all that stuff. Now, I want to be healthy, like nutrition-wise. We're going to talk about that. We're going to have experts on here. We're going to have interview-style conversations with real-life professionals, like doctors that I've met along the way, dermatologists I've met along along the way, holistic practitioners I've met along the way, and even down to my real life clients. Like, I want to sit down and have intimate conversations with them and how we met and how we got through their skin journey and what it looks like to them on the other side of now understanding their body, listening to their body, and what is their skin telling them about their body. I can't wait to share some of these stories with you guys because I feel like it's such a relatable space, and I want this to be a safe space for you guys. Like, I want us to have honest conversations in a safe space. I want people to thrive in this space. I want you guys to leave each episode feeling fed. Not just with knowledge of skincare, but feeling spiritually fed, emotionally fed. Like, we're going to look and reflect on different seasons of our lives because we're going to have seasons within these episodes. I want you guys to know from this season to the next, we need to be looking at growth, whether that be externally or internally. Because my friends will tell you, you only can come to me crying about something one or maybe two times. But at that point, baby, you're making a choice. Okay? You're making a choice to live in this space. If you want your skin to be different, I am telling you what to do. And these are the things you have to address. And then you come back 2 more times and we ain't seeing no changes. Baby girl, you not about to stress me out because my blood pressure can't handle it. So with that being said, you got to listen. And speaking of me talking to my clients, I think I totally missed the part where I was supposed to tell you guys I am an owner of a wellness spa. Totally got caught up in letting you guys know who I am. And a part of me is, a part of knowing me is knowing that I have been running my own skincare spa for, I've been doing this almost 8 years now, maybe 7 years. No, hold on. I went official. Well, me and a friend of mine, we had a spa downtown Greenville. It was a salon and spa downtown Greenville in 2018. And then I opened up my own spa in 2019. So 2019 from now, so we're in 20, so that's 6 years. So, I mean, I've been doing this for some time because before I opened up my own space, I was actually working in Columbia with the owner, the school that I went to, Southeastern Aesthetics. She had a spa that she would hire some of her students to work at, and it was called Pure Med Spa. So I worked there maybe a year or so. I did a couple of other spas like Hand and Stone. I had moved to Charlotte and all that stuff. But I came back, found my grounding here, and I've been owning and operating my own spa since 2019. Completely forgot to tell you guys that part. That is what makes me an expert on these topics. But yeah, so anywho, I don't want to talk your heads off because I want you guys to go ahead and prepare for your Thursday nights, which is when every episode will be airing Thursday night at 7. So you guys need to put that on your calendar, mark it down, whatever you need to do. I will send out notifications if I have your email address already or your phone number or whatever I have already. I will add you to the list if you want me to. So you can send your information to me. I will provide you with the email and our social media as well. But yeah. Thank you guys for joining me on this episode of Skintimacy Conversations. I hope today's discussion has inspired you to embrace both your skin and your spiritual journey. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with somebody who might benefit from hearing these topics. We are currently streaming on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Audible. I am working on getting the show on Apple Music. It's just taking a little more time because I'm new and I'm working out all the kinks with that. And we will also have live videos on YouTube soon as well. So I invite you guys to follow us on social media for the updates and behind the scene content. I will have I will have the page up by the time this airs. It'll be on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I'm trying to figure out Threads. You guys let me know about that. I don't really know how that works. You can also email us topics that you would like to hear us talk about or dive deeper into. If I don't know, I'm pretty sure I know somebody who knows what you need to understand about a specific topic. You can email us at Skintimacy by C.Cherrelle.com. I will link that. Once I release this, I will link that on all my social media. But yeah, you can email us at Skintimacy by C.Cherrelle.com. What else? I think that's it and that's all. Anyway, let's continue this journey together, you guys. Until next time, stay skintimate. Bye.